vision, once you kind of see it, the important thing for you is now to be able to write it. And so I'm not even sure where I am in my notes, but I was sharing with Michelle, and most of you probably would be surprised, but I don't have a vision board. I've never done one. I have never done a vision board. And Miss Kelly is like, what do you mean you have never done a vision board? All of these sister circles that I've been holding, and you have never been, and you don't have no vision board. I know you do not. Where's my belt? But here's the kicker. You can't have a vision board without a vision. I've always had a vision, but my way of writing my vision was always manifested in writing. When my stuff came for the pageant, I had notebooks. Hope knows, she was back when I started the pageant. A lot of people where I started the pageant would hear me talk about it. I'm going to start a pageant with girls, and this is what it's going to look like, and this is what I want my girls to experience, and this is kind of how it's going to be, and at the end, this is what I want them to feel like. That's vision. This is what I envision. This is what I see. It's not here, but I see it. I don't see it, but I see it. The question is, you don't see it, but do you see it? Do you see it? I mean, do you really see it? You see it? Do you see it? A little bit? I'm just messing with you. So here it says, write the vision, and without a vision, the people perish. I like to reframe this to say, without a vision, you perish. Without a vision, your life perishes. If you get in the car and you don't know where you're going, where are you going to end up? Somewhere, nowhere, we don't know. So my question is if you don't have a vision for your life, where are you going to end up? Where are you going to be? How are you going to get there? Are y'all with me? Yes. Okay. Because y'all looking, and I feel y'all looking, but I want to make sure that the look is the look I feel and not the look like, okay, what time is Dr. Kelly coming up so I can make my vision board? So
people are they're thinking. Yeah. They're thinking.
Okay. Well, and that's what I'm feeling, but I want y'all to tell me what you're feeling. If I'm feeling what y'all feeling, what you seeing, what I'm feeling. You feel me? Okay.
She want a little bit of church and a little bit of vision board. So y'all gotta be seeing.
You can give me a well.
You can't see it, don't mean that.
You're right. You see it. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You with me? All right. So I see it even though I don't see it. Right. Okay. So it's the blueprint for your life. If you can't build a house without a blueprint, can you? I mean, is it possible? I mean, it might be, but I don't know what the house is going to look like when they're done. But you can't build a house without a blueprint. So how do you build your life without vision? And people do it, but we know where they end up. Existing, not living. We in this room because we're ready to live, right? I'm coming out, boom, boom. Right? Now y'all know me. Don't act like because I've been out and disappeared that I done changed. Just because I had a baby don't mean I didn't, change me, but it ain't really changed me. So it shows you how to develop and create your goals and objectives. The vision is the platform for which you use the goals and you develop your goals and your objectives, but your vision is not your goals and objectives. And like I said, you can't have a vision board without a vision. And so for me, the reason I talk about the fact that I never had a vision board was because you all know my life. My life is about vision. But I'm excited about to create this vision board because you already know I'm expecting double and I'm expecting it to happen like tomorrow. So I need this vision board to be like flat out. So when I put it up and me and my husband walk by it every day, the reminder is like, okay, it's faster and it's coming in double. It's gonna be big like, right? Huge. Like Fushillo? Okay, so I know some of y'all are not used to me and y'all gotta get used to me, but babe, is this how I am? Is this how I mean? I'm not faking, y'all, I promise. I'm not faking. So here's the deal, and I love this because I was watching watching a church service this morning, and the person who was ministering talked about exposure. And he talked about exposure as it relates to relationships. It was talking about transformational relationships. And I had just finished fine-tuning my notes, and this is what I'm talking about as it relates to vision, where why vision is important. Because experience brings about exposure, which brings about expansion. I'm going to say that again. Experience brings about exposure, which brings about expansion. Now you might say, Detra, okay, well what does that mean? This means that as you increase your experience, you experience new things, you experience new people. You come to a workshop with Detra Trueheart. You get into a vision board exercise with Dr. Kelly. You get, integrated, and you start to intermingle with the women in the spotlight, and you get a new experience. But once you get a new experience, you get new exposure. You are now exposed to something you have never been exposed to before. And so once you are exposed to something you've never been exposed to before, now there's expansion. You grow. Your mind can't go back to what it used to be, and so when you go home trying to think like you used to think, because now you've had the experience from the purpose-driven vision board, you're trying to figure out why you can't go back to what you were when you went home, because now you've experienced exposure and you have expansion in your life now.
All right.
That was good when he gave it to me, so I know it's good when I gave it to you. I had to write it out a couple times, like, for real? I was like, what? You have to start challenging that very thing that you no longer want to be a part of. You have to replace it with something. And that's how we change mindsets. You don't change a mindset just by changing it. You have to replace it with something. And you don't just replace it with anything, but you replace it with what it is that you desire and where you desire to go. You're going to have to get that on video, because when I'm in the flow, sometimes I just, that's how, yes. But basically what I'm saying is that when you get into a new place, and when you start to experience new things and new people, the opportunity for exposure, like, you can't go back. You can't go back. And the problem is that many of us try to go back. We try to go back to that which we're no longer a part of. We try to go back and associate with those people who are no longer a part of our vision. We try to go back to those places that we know we don't have no business being, because that's not who we are anymore. And so then when we have exposure, you're now being exposed to things where you have the opportunity. And I told my husband this. I had drove past this guy. You need me? I drove past this guy. I was on my way home from work, and it was a Yukon, black Yukon, tinted windows, and there was a man in the back working. He had a driver. I said, yes, Lord. It don't take much for me, y'all will find. I will find inspiration. He'll tell you, like, Lord, why you got your notebooks? What you writing? I get in the movies like I find inspiration because, for me, I understand the importance of experience, exposure, and expansion. Even before this was given to me, I understand. For me, I can find anything out of anything. And so the key for that is when I saw it, okay, oh, he in Buffalo, because that kind of stuff you don't see. So I seen it. And that was something I saw with my eyes. So then that really meant I saw it, which means that I can see it, which means that I can have it. Okay, so y'all, I know y'all with me. I know y'all with me, but so I saw it. I'm gonna have a driver. I'm gonna have a driver. And if y'all saw my car on Facebook, that's my autobiography Range Rover, 195,000. Because my driver is gonna be driving. You saw the screen with the laptop. Just go to my Facebook and just check it out, just so you can be inspired, so you can get some exposure, right? I challenge you, and I'm gonna just do an exercise real quick. Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Real quick. I'm gonna count to 3, and I want you to think of the biggest thing that you can think of. Biggest thing as it relates to your vision. And then when you open your eyes, I'm just gonna come around the room and I wanna ask you what it was. Well, and it's gotta be quick. 1, 1, 2, 3. Fake. Did you get it? Open your eyes. What was it? A building. A yacht. A house by the water. A franchise.
Empire.
Empire.
Campus.
Campus. New staff.
Satisfaction.
Oh, Jesus. Expanded program. Speaking in the stadium. Ooh. Family plank.
The world.
Yes.
Show out.
Yes.
Brand new house.
Yes.
Forbes list.
Yes. Platform. Did you think? Think of something big. What you want? Huh? A house? That's what I'm talking about. Expansion of your family. That's what I'm talking about. So now guess what I'm going to ask you to do? Think bigger. Do the matrix, right? Okay. So how do we develop a positive and a purpose-driven vision? Get clear on your purpose and your vision. You got to get clear on why you're here. If you don't know why you're here, then you'll continue to be looking at everything that looks nice and feels nice and, oh yeah, I want that platform like Rhonda had. That looks nice, so I'm going to try to do that. Because you don't know why you're here, you don't know what your purpose is, you don't know what it even feels like. And so here's the other part is if you don't know what your purpose is, go back to experience, exposure, and expansion. The more you experience, the more you will start to find what you like and what you don't like. The one thing that I figured out when I started doing pageants, and after the fact, once I was done, I understood who I was not. Some